Alright guys, so if you've had this Flow, what are these things called? Flow Go 30-gallon Durango Max, you know it's a terrible flowing because you're going through two valves and it's just kind of crazy. And so I took this out and it looks like this is the standard pipe thread. I'd say it's a 1/2 inch maybe. And I'm going to go to get a 1/2 inch short, a regular ball valve that's full bore, and then I'm going to use a line going straight into the that you can see through the reinforced clear plastic line, and plumb it that way. That way when you fill it in you can pour right into your boat, and then you have one valve here and it's protected, and then your valve at the boat, and so you don't overflow your gas. So I'm gonna see if this works, and I'll let you know. All right, signing out. So this is the short nipple 1/2 inch MIP close, and when you look at this, it actually reduces the flow pretty good having this tube in here. So I'm just going to I'm not going to use this tube. I'm just going to put it in without the tube. I'll keep the tube in case there's too much crud, but if you look at the size, that's a really good amount of flow for your gas going into your boat. And obviously it'd be better if I put a metal screen in here, but as long as you get good clean gas and your tank's clean, you should be fine. So I'm going to put the thread sealant on here and then stick this on here, and then you can see there's only a little bit of threads exposed because of this rubber O-ring, which I think is a good idea because it seals just in case, because you have good 3 or 4 threads engaged on here, which is a pretty good engagement. And if you used any other ones, you'd have the same thing because of this collar here. So I'm deciding not to use that little spigot, which actually would make it go like here to get your fuel. So you really can't get all the fuel out of your thing. So I'm probably going to empty this fuel tank. That way I get everything out, all the crud out of the tank, because with that being in there, none of the crud would have been able to come out over the years of this fuel tank. All right there, YouTube world, this is an update. I'm going to put all these videos together. So it worked well. So I threaded a short connection and put pipe dope, tape, and thread sealant on both threads, and I reused the O-ring and this. So when I put the valve on to the nipple, I use this because it's going back up against the nipple. So this is tight against here. I cut the valve short so it won't hit when you stand the pump upright. It's 100% full port ball valve, and you can see the grease from the ball valve. That's what the white stuff is. But you can see that's a much bigger opening than this opening when that valve is open. So you go from about a quarter size to a 1/2 inch full port ball valve. So you should get a lot more flow coming out. So you have one valve here, and then we use the hose, and we use the sprinkler, even though it says for outdoor use only, and we're outdoors, but this is not rated for fuel at all. But it's a good enough wall thickness. Obviously clean out the insides of the 1/2 inch by 4 risers. So this is going to cut in half, and then half of that's going to go in the valve here, and you clamp the hose on it, and then the other one goes on the other hose at your boat. So, but yeah, and this is emptying the fuel, trying to see the gunk that was inside the tank, and I didn't empty all of it out because it really didn't flow very good. So this molding thing was kind of interesting, getting the flow out. So all these grooves and contours, but this should be a good tank having this modified, because the flow rate coming out of here was just was just terrible, as you guys all know. So, all right, we'll see how well this works. All right, so I got the line, the fuel line, got 10 feet of hose, and got a 1/2 inch ball valve there, and a 1/2 inch ball valve here. So, and I went and filled it up with 14 gallons of wreck fuel, which is a non-ethanol gasoline, and don't see any seepage or anything on here. So I'm gonna go fill the boat up and see how it works, and should reach just fine. You have control down at your boat, and then you have control at your tank. So we'll see how well this sucker works, and then go get another fill up as well, so top off the boat's fuel tank. All right guys, so my test is working. We got the vent open on the cap, and no leaks on that I can tell. And granted, this is not fuel rated hose, so it'll become brittle, but as you can see, it is full flowing, and it's not leaking anywhere on the boat, which is great, because the other fill up was a disaster. So this is a tested fix. So you do a MIP thread short to a FIP 1/2 inch ball valve with I'd use pipe dope and thread sealant, liquid time. And then I did this, which was a PVC 4-inch PVC, and you cut it in half. That's that one, and then you do the same thing on this guy. So it's a 4-inch, 1/2 inch sprinkler connection, pretty much. And it's the same. The OD of the sprinkler is the same ID as this. I did a hose clamp just in case, belt and suspenders, and so you have a shut off here, so you can control the amount of fuel, and then this just goes back into your tank when you get done if you have fuel spilling out here. So, but I'm pretty empty, so I'm sure it would take 14 gallons. But yay! So this Go Duramax 14 gallon fix resolves the low flow issue that I have.